Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today we are going to work in a review. So the first thing we're going to review are tenses. Now, what I want you to do is to please look at the tense, the example of a sentence using that tense, and match what this is describing. For example, we use simple present to talk about an action that is in progress in the present, an action that happened in the past. Please pause the video and match the correct use of these structures to the examples. Okay, guys, so we use simple present to talk about E, an action that is true, habits, and routines. We use present progressive to talk about A, an action that is in progress in the present. Okay, let's continue. We use present perfect to talk about. We use present perfect progressive to talk about. Once again, pause the video while you match. Okay, let's check. We use present perfect to talk about C, a finished or unfinished action that started in the past and is connected to the present. We use we use present perfect progressive to talk about G, an unfinished action that started in the past and is still true. Now, I want you to please pause the video and match the uses of simple past and past progressive. Okay, guys, we use simple past to talk about B, an action that happened in the past. This action has to be finished. And we use past progressive to talk about F, an action that was in progress in the past and it was possibly interrupted by another action. This action is already finished. Okay, let's continue. Once again, pause the video to match the uses of past perfect and past perfect progressive. Okay, now let's check. We use past perfect to talk about H, an action that happened before another past event. Let's say the past of the past. And we use past perfect progressive to talk about D, an action that was in progress before another past event. Once again, this is like the past of the past. Okay, guys, now you're going to practice. For this, you have to go to your student book, page 38. Here you have to underline the correct alternative to complete this text. Pause the video while you work on this, please. Okay, guys, we are going to check this during our class, so let's continue. Now, we are going to review talking about people and their looks. So, the first thing that I want you to do is to go to your student book, page 39. Here, you're going to match the adjectives with nouns to make collocations. For example, impassive clothes, impassive smile, impassive voice, impassive hair, impassive eyes, or impassive face. That's right, the answer would be impassive face. Pause the video while you match the rest, please. Okay, guys, we're going to check this in class, but what I want you to do now is to think of people that you know with these characteristics. Someone who wears designer clothes, who wears maybe old-fashioned or scruffy clothes. These people can be people that you know in real life or people in movies or in TV. Pause the video while you write your ideas. Okay, guys, now let's continue with our review. Here, we are going to review the use of so, neither, and but. So, if you remember, these words are helping me combine or join two ideas. Now, how do we do that? Well, if you notice, we're using so, verb plus subject. So is the woman, so does she, for example. Neither, neither does he, neither is him. And the difference with but is that here we are using the subject and the verb, so we're changing the order. And let's see how to do this. So refers that when you have two positive ideas, neither is when you have two negative ideas, and but is when you have one positive and one negative. It doesn't really matter the order of them. Now, let's practice with this. Let's go to student book page 38, exercise 2. Match the sentences with the responses. Pause the video to work on this, please. Okay, guys, we are checking this in class. So let's continue with our review, and now let's do tag questions. So, if you remember, a tag question is a small question at the end of a statement. They are used when we want to ask for agreement or when we want to confirm information. Now, if you remember this, um, when we have a positive statement like you are a student, we're going to have a negative question tag, aren't you? And when we have a negative statement like Mary isn't a teacher, we're going to have a positive question tag, is she? So we're going to practice this in our student book page 38. Here you're going to complete the tag questions with the words in the box. Pause the video to work on this, please. Okay, guys, now I want you to please look at these questions. Which one sounds more formal and why? What is special about the more formal questions? Pause the video while you think about this. So, if you notice, the second set of sentences, they are more formal. And what is special about them is that we are introducing them. So let's review how to do that. I want you to please identify the introduction of the questions, the real question, and the position of the verbs. Pause the video to work on this, please. Okay, guys, so in embedded questions, if you remember, we have an introduction like, could you tell me? Then we're going to have a real question. What image you're trying to achieve? And if you see, the position of the verb is after the subject. Image, you are trying. So that's the verb after the subject. Again, here in the next one, I would like to know is our introduction, whether your appearance affects your life, the question, and the verb is affects after this subject, which is your appearance. Okay, and the last one, do you think you're aware of fashion? The introduction would be, do you think you are aware of fashion? Our question, and the verb once again is after the subject. Now, let's practice in student book page 38. Here, you're going to unscramble the words to form questions. Pause the video to work on this, please. Okay, guys, now I want you to please read the sentences and match to the correct structures. This is verb patterns. Pause the video, please. Okay, guys. So, offer helping each other is verb plus a gerund. Help your siblings finish their chores. Verb, object plus base form. Remind them to clean up the rooms. Verb, object, and infinitive. Don't forget to share. Verb plus infinitive. Spend time playing together. Verb, object, gerund. Now let's remember that in some books or in some texts, the infinitive or base form may have different names. Now, here we have a list of verbs and what they are usually followed by. Please pause the video to take a look at this list. Okay, and now it is time to practice. Let's go to our student book page 38. Here in exercise 5, you're going to complete the conversations with a gerund or an infinitive, to plus verb. Pause the video while you work on this, please. Okay, guys, let's check. We're going to check this in class. Let's continue. Okay, I want you to please read these sentences. What is special about them and what words do you see repeated? What is the difference between them? Pause the video to think. Guys, if you notice the second sentences in each set, They are reporting what other people said before. So this is reported speech. Let's review it. Here you have an example of a sentence in direct speech, and the second sentence is in reported speech. I always go to school. She said she always went to school. So what you're going to do is you're going to match the structures. For example, the first one, I always go to school, that would be simple present. She said she always went to school. Went. What is that? That's right. That is simple past. Pause the video while you work on this, please. Okay, guys. Now let's go ahead with the next set of sentences. Once again, match the structures. Okay, guys. Now let's match the next structures, please. Pause the video if you need it. Okay, and this is the last set. So once again, pause the video to match the structures. Okay, guys, we're going to be checking this in class. Now, remember some tips for reported speech. The tenses backshift. So if we have a tense in present, we're going to use it in past now. When we are reporting questions, the subject and the verb follow the order in a sentence. The pronouns are going to change. So in direct speech, I can say, I told my mom I wanted a Coke. And then when you report it, the teacher told her mom that she had wanted a Coke. Time references are also going to change usually from yesterday to the day before, from tomorrow to the next day or the following day. And demonstratives usually change as well, from this to that, etc. Now, let's practice. Let's go to student book page 38. Here you're going to write the sentences in reported speech. Pause the video to work on this, please. Okay, guys, now let's continue. I want you to please read these sentences. What are they talking about? Real or unreal situations? Are these situations in the past, present, or future? Pause the video, please. Okay, let's check. So, if you notice these first two sentences, they are talking about an unreal situation in the present or future. If you worked hard, you would have more money. If I were single with no kids and no responsibilities, I would want fame instead of fortune. And the second set of sentences, they are talking about unreal situations in the past. If I had accepted that job offer, I would have traveled around the world. If I had known they would have become valuable antiques, I would have kept them. Now, let's continue. How many clauses do you see in each of these sentences? And can you put them in a different order? What words do you see repeated? Pause the video, please. So guys, if you notice, we have two clauses in each sentence, and you can change the order. You can put first the if clause and then the main clause, or first the main clause and then the if clause. And the words that we see repeated are if and would. Now let's practice. Let's go to workbook page 38, exercise number 7. Here you're going to complete the conditional sentences with the correct form of the verbs in parentheses. Pause the video to work on this, please. Okay, guys, this is the end of the video. We're going to check all of these exercises in class. Remember to write down any questions that you may have. Bye bye!